Hey guys, welcome back to a new recording of What If Deku is OP. This is the second part of a, so far two-part series. I hope you enjoy. I've just been messing around with the mic settings and all that. Anyway, daily ritual or weekly or whatever. I would like you to help me get further up in the world and like and subscribe. Right now I'm trying to get to 250 subscribers. I'm at 212 right now currently as I'm recording this, which is 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, so it's all lovely jubbly. Excuse, I've hit my mic, sorry if it's weird noises, but I can't be asked to restart, but excuse if this is weird, this kind of recording. I am really tired for some reason, but anyway, so we're picking off from where we last ended. He was asleep and he woke up and there was Chaz on the wall. Well, we're actually going to that night. We're moving to the villain's base. They're like, wow, that kid, he represented the power of All Might. But that wasn't his limit. That was him. That was a young fledgling hero. We're gonna have to step up our game. So, first of all, I should probably explain how they know. That is from, you ready for this one? This one's like kind of been forgotten, but it's still definitely a thing. There is something called what's it called? There's a UA traitor, so that's what's going to tell them about Deku's power, okay? I don't quite know whether it's a he or a she, but I'm just going to do my own voice for that one, because I have no clue who it is. I'm going to be honest, I have no predictions too, but still there. Still definitely a thing, so yeah. Anyway, so, if we're gonna get into it, yeah, so the villains are now preparing for 2 All Mights rather than 1, because Deku has the strength of All Might, but All Might's strength has been dwindling over the years. It's a dwindled strength of All Might. This is because I still feel like Deku's kind of holding back a bit or not pushing it at all. He's kind of just getting what his technical like base level is, so it's a bit like he's not quite, if he pushed his limits he would go really further. He's not like pushing along like All Might's always pushing to do his quirk. It's never just natural. This is a bit more natural. It just flows. It's like a flowing river, and he can turn it into rapids. He can push the water through, but he's just letting the water flow through his body, and that's why he's not quite. You've not seen him in anywhere near full strength, and that's right now. Anyway, so the villains are preparing for a stronger. He's woken up 6 o'clock, but he's actually wakes up about 4:30. He was planning to wake up 5:30. That would have given half an hour to get, 15 minutes to get ready, 15 minutes to get there, which would have been just enough time. But he woke up 4:30. This is because he woke up from, I guess you could call them nightmares, but it's really just like quirk tremors, I guess you could call it. But basically it's his body trying to work Black Whip, which of course it's just he's ready to use Black Whip, and he's also ready. Well, he's ready to use Black Whip anyway. So he goes to train with All Might. All Might's like, you got to clear up the beach first. This was in the deal. You've got 3 hours. Go. So he goes to clean up the beach. Sorry, just give me a sec. Sipping my coffee. Right. Remember, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. There's going to be a lot of coffee sips throughout the whole of this. Anyway, so where was I? So he clears the beach in 3 hours. Now I'm talking about he did clear a section of the beach. He clears the whole beach. Like, he literally does it. He gave him 3 hours, but he didn't understand how. But this is like without a quirk. But now his body's kind of like molded. He can just. It's so much easier for him. So it takes him 3 hours to clear what he did in like 10 months. I know it's very unrealistic, but you know what, go with it. He actually used the quirk to throw some stuff, so he just 10 times more convenient. All Might helped him out as well in buff form. Anyway, sorry, All Might helped him out, but not in buff form, like just dragging along the light stuff. Anyway, so All Might's like, ha 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 ha, young Midoriya, you seem to understand your quirk. Now, we've just got to understand how to implement it in a fight. Do you think you're ready? And then Deku's like, yeah? Well, first of all, if you want to have a fight with me, this is All Might, you know, the golden hair boy speaking. If you want to have a fight with me, you're gonna have to learn to lower your limit of your power. Of course, I can only hold this form for 3 hours, so that'll be our limit in combat training a day. Because he loses his, he switches to 1 hour, so I'm just gonna go 3 hours right now. I don't know whether that's right or not, but I'm kind of just riffing it at this point. All Might can be a bit stronger. I can only stay in this form for 3 hours, and so that'll be our limit on combat training. And I will need you to take over what I, wait no, and that'll be our limit on combat training. But I can also teach you other methods like how to go beyond, how to go plus ultra. Now, Zuki Midoriya, first of all, we've got to understand how you can control the power of One For All. Weaken it to 50% so we can have a proper worthy duel. Okay, All Might, he says. Well, maybe do it as a metaphor. And then All Might's like, perfect. Now, you know the power, you've got to control the power, you've got to contain a power, you've got to spread it around the whole plate. You mean like a microwave? Or might say, bit of a boring metaphor there, but we'll go with it, like an egg in a microwave. So, Deku powers up. He powers up to 100%, but he's basically frozen in space. This is not because of power. This is actually out of some sort of fear. Because last time he moved, he basically sent shockwaves due to the power he's carrying. So then he tries to lower it to 50%. He does this by kind of squishing the power in his mind. It's a bit difficult for him at first, but after 3 or 4 tries of doing it, it becomes second nature. And he then also, after the 5th time of doing it, he squishes it and doesn't have to concentrate on squishing down his power. So he doesn't have to concentrate to keep it on 50%, meaning that he can concentrate on fighting. And he tells All Might this, and All Might's like, ha 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 ha, well done, young Midoriya. Coffee break. I am so sorry for the sipping down the camera. Anyway, Mike, I said Mike. Anyway, like and subscribe, helps me out a bunch. So sorry for the thingy jig you'll be hearing right now, the status. It will be unreal, and that's because I've not really set up the audio in that slide. I don't know why I keep on switching to it. I might just ask you to like and subscribe at this point. I think that would just be better. Anyway, back to the point. Man, it's rough today. Anyway, so All Might and Deku have a fight. All Might sweeps the floor. Let me explain why. All Might has combat training, Deku doesn't. They're both using the same powers, and then basically they combat train for the next 3 hours. And BNHA, I just want to set out a timeline here because I've completely forgot the canon timeline. Okay, and I thought, why not? So, Deku got told about going into U8 on a Saturday. Today's a Sunday for him. Monday's when he starts school. So, Deku and All Might on a Sunday are training all day. They train 3 hours combat training. And about 1.5 hours in, he's fighting All Might. And then he realizes he's in a pickle again. He realizes he could lose. So what happens is black whips started spurting out from his hands, a bit like Spider-Man spider webs at first, and it actually captures All Might enough with his left hand, and then he just right hooks him, actually beating All Might and getting him to the ground. And then All Might's like, "Well, young Midoriya, you're doing well." And then an hour and a half later, it's been 3 hours, and he's coughing. He's basically like, "Young Midoriya, I'm done for today. Well, it's been fun." And then Midoriya's like, "Hey, you've helped me out quite a bit today. Do you want to maybe come get lunch?" And then All Might's like, "Yeah, food." And I I don't want to make this sound weird, but they go and get food together with Inku Midoriya. Oh my god, I scummed up the mum's name. I'm so sorry, but they go get food together. Like, of course, Inku told Midori to invite All Might to dinner first, and they all talk. They all get closer as friends. All Might is closer to Deku before UA, and closer to Deku's family before UA actually starts. So, he is walking into UA. He's quite nervous because, of course, he's shown off this power he's never shown off before. He can't fully control it, so he can't actually use anything below 50% yet. Let me explain why. So he can use 100% and he can use 50%, but because he's not had that long to learn to suppress a power, he doesn't quite have full control, so he can only use 50%, and that's not full cowling, or 100% full cowling. Of course, it's not full cowling because it just kind of flows across his whole body, as the 50% can only be in a concentrated body part. So, let's say 50% punch or 50% punch, but he does it like subconsciously now, if that makes sense. So once he's locked into 50%, he's constantly using 50%. So all he'll have to think about is switching from his legs to his hands, which he realizes is less proficient but more safer. So if he's fighting, let's say, if he's like, well, if he's fighting a villain and the villain can't take his full power, he'll be able to use 50%. It's just safer rather than going in for 100%, potentially killing somebody, which wouldn't be very good for a hero, would it? Anyway, so he's walking into UA quite nervous because he doesn't have full control over his quirk, but he's quite like, "It's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay. Hopefully Bakugo and Ida aren't in my class, but I really hope that cute girl that saved me was." Well, he was right about all three. All three of them are in his class. You know how UA goes. You know the people in his class. Coffee break. Sorry. I don't usually do this in a video. Just, it is getting on late. It's now 6 o'clock in the morning. Woo! Anyway, so, whereabouts was we? He's walked into UA. He's greeted by Bakugo going, "Damn, punk, you never told me you had a quirk." And I am so sorry if that came so weird down the mic. And then Ida's like, "I commend you very much. You knew that the test had a weird ranking system, and you knew about the hero points. I commend you as a hero. I also commend you for the power. That power's unbelievable. And the way you adapted, you kind of look like you never used the power before, but yet you look so natural with it. I can't wait to get you better. I can't wait to meet you better as a colleague and as a fellow hero training student and as a fellow hero." Nodding to him, and Deku's like, "No, no, no, honestly, thank you for that one. That actually makes me feel a bit better, but I'm not as good as you give credit for, but thanks anyway." And then Tracker comes in like, oh, hey Deku, how you been? And yeah, that happens, and then Aizawa was like, "Shut up, kids, we got work to do." That was him sipping his coffee because he's always tired, like me tomorrow. I'm so screwed. Anyway, so as Aizawa was like, "Come on, kids, calm down. It's school. No chit chat time. This is serious. Serious." Yeah. What the hell is that last serious? Anyway, so Aizawa walks up. He's just like, "Guys, seriously, calm down." And then, "Oh yes, we've got quirk app to do chest tests." And then Atraker's like, but, but what about the assembly? And Aizawa was like, "Honestly, do you think I care?" Anyway, so the quirk aptitude test's happening. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, the person that does the worst is kicked from UA. Anyway, so it starts with him, Aizawa saying, "Deku, you get to go first. Show us your quirk." So Deku realizes that if he uses 100%, he might damage people around him. So he actually asks Aizawa, "Can you move these people away, please?" And then he goes, "One for all. One for all. One for all. Brooklyn, throw!" He throws a ball using all his energy for his whole hand in a throwing motion. This is backed up by a bunch of energy. And why did I choose Brooklyn? Because it's not a state, and I rushed. So I'm actually going to turn it into. Nah, I'm gonna keep Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn Smash, because you don't really use it to. You don't really throw much, but I'm just throwing some more smashes in there. I'm gonna try and name them after America, but I'm gonna be honest, most of them are gonna be reverted around New York, because that's all I really know. Anyway, sorry, I just heard something. I think it was myself, so I'm just gonna continue. Anyway, so that happens, and because I just heard something, I'm actually gonna end it here. A, I'm scared out of my head. B, it's actually a good place to end it, because his distance is gonna be like recorded, and yeah, you get to find out the rest of the results, and it's kind of a cliffhanger. Anyway, thanks for watching. This video's been longer like usual. I'm trying to make these longer as possible. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. If you like, the next video will come out quicker. This one came out a day after the last one, or 2 days, depending on how you did on the likes, which, to be honest, I'm not expecting 5 people to like, but it's still amazing to know that at least 18, 10, 5, maybe even 3 people are listening to me rambling on in the middle of the night. Anyway, quite a lot of time went into this recording, so I just want to say thank you for staying this time. Also, I realised I said that weird, so I just want to say thank you all for staying for 18 minutes. You've been amazing, audience. Love you guys. Goodbye. Good night. Good morning. Hope you enjoyed. Bye. Like and subscribe.